It has slowed down a bit, to be honest, but that's where tools like bitsCrunch, I mean, teams like bitsCrunch are planning to bring more trust and transparency into the NFT space. So we are like the police of NFTs, where we look at wash rates, where we find fair price estimation of NFTs, and also detect copy mints in the NFT space. So in short, we are like the tick mark of NFTs, like a Twitter verified profile.
Hey everybody, Tanner here with WAGMI Ventures. On today's episode, we have Vijay, Pravin, founder and CEO at bitsCrunch. For anyone who's new, this is the WAGMI Ventures podcast where we do snapshots with interesting founders from across Web3. Check out wagmiventures.io to learn more about the syndicate behind the podcast. But for now, let's get into it with Vijay from bitsCrunch. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm here today with Vijay Pravin, founder and CEO at bitsCrunch. Vijay, how's it going today?
It's going well, Tanner. Thanks for having me in one of your podcasts. So it's really good to be with you, speaking in one of your podcast series. And I'm really excited to what all we are going to share in the coming minutes.
Definitely. Me too. I'm excited we were able to get in touch, and you're a really interesting person, so I'm excited to get to know you better. Why don't we just jump in, and if you could just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit more about your journey up to creating bitsCrunch.
Yeah, sure. So myself, Vijay Pravin, originally coming from Chennai in India, down south. And then I moved to Germany, where I am living now. I'm living in Munich, Germany, which is the city of Oktoberfest for the last 10 years. I did my master's here. That's the reason why I came here. And then I worked for Volkswagen and Siemens, two of the German OG companies in the Web2 world, before I started bitsCrunch amidst pandemic.
Very
So
cool.
we are into NFT analytics and forensics. And yeah, so far the journey has been great.
Very cool. Can you give us a little more context for the NFT space for anyone who kind of doesn't specialize there? So maybe just kind of where it's gone well, where it's missed the mark, and then maybe situate bitsCrunch within that story a bit.
Sure. NFTs, non-fungible tokens, as people are aware of, it's one of the new age digital assets class that was in the news, or that was buzzing in the last year. Uh, and we are also seeing a lot of brands chipping into NFT space, right? I mean, just in the last week, we saw two amazing brands diving into NFTs. One being Porsche, one of the famous automotives, and then Amazon also said that they are having a close eye on NFTs. So NFTs, it started way back, but then it got its buzz during the last bull run, and it might have started with PFPs, the famous CryptoPunks and Bored Apes to start with, but then we are slowly seeing a momentum shift when it comes to gaming NFTs, music NFTs, and a lot of other utility-based NFTs, and with brands like Facebook coming out, I mean the Meta, which is its current name, coming out and saying that they are integrating NFTs onto Instagram, which is one of the most widely used uh, degen platforms out there. That shows the potential of NFTs. It has slowed down a bit, to be honest, but that's where tools like bitsCrunch, I mean, teams like bitsCrunch are planning to bring more trust and transparency into the NFT space. So we are like the police of NFTs, where we look at wash rates, where we find fair price estimation of NFTs, and also detect copy mints in the NFT space. So in short, we are like the tick mark of NFTs, like a Twitter verified profile.
Love it. Yeah. Before we go into more about bitsCrunch, can you talk a little bit about the various products that are offered, just to kind of orient and anchor people into what sort of tangible value is provided there?
Yeah, sure. So the main thing that we detect is the transactional forensics. So, I mean, just to give you another perspective, we are like the amalgamation of Dune Analytics or Nansen on top of chain analysis. So that is one thing that we aim to uh, achieve in this journey when we started. So we wanted to be the chain analysis for the NFT space. And one of the core products is tackling wash trading, because people flip NFTs for fun, to make money or get incentives from the marketplaces. So that is something that is a highlight. And then, like I said, copy mints, because let's say if Adidas is making a lot of money out of NFTs, somebody might use Adidas logo on their NFT to make money, which is actually not the original NFTs. So we help brands protect their IPs. And then there is a third product that also tells you what's the fair price of NFTs. So in short, we are planning to keep everything under a single umbrella, that is unleashnfts.com, which is something that we have built and launched the beta version recently.
Very cool. So let's take a step back. What have been some of the earliest challenges at bitsCrunch, and how have you and your team solved for those challenges?
Mhm. Obviously, the hiring has been a pain in the ass to start with, uh,
Sure.
especially in Web3. Finding talents is tough, and also that we are based out of Munich. It's really hard. To be honest, Germany is still in the early days of NFT adoption. If I have to be really honest, the talents, especially in NFT space, is really tough here in Germany. Not just in Germany, but then the whole Europe. And then that's where we also need to take hire some holy colleagues from India, from Northern America, from Southern America sometimes. That has been a challenge to start with. And then the adoption. I mean, when we started, there were hardly brands that were using NFTs or that were launching NFT collections. Uh,
Right.
but now the scenario has changed completely. You see one or the other brands chipping into NFTs every week or at least every month. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so similar question. What has stood out as most surprising in your work building bitsCrunch thus far?
Surprising thing is the willingness to work with startups like bitsCrunch. I mean, to be honest, we work with Mastercard. Mastercard is one of our customers. We got in touch with them through an accelerator program, but then they are moving towards a pilot phase in integrating bitsCrunch. Just to give you how we work with Mastercard, let's say if Tanner lives in San Francisco and you're traveling to Dubai for a crypto conference, when you swipe your credit card, you get an alert from the bank, right?
Yep.
Because it's a different location, it's a different currency, so the bank knows that you're not in the usual place or the usual currency. So
Yep.
we at bitsCrunch, we are all set to provide the same for NFT traders who purchase NFTs using Mastercard payment gateway in the near future.
Very cool. That's super interesting. I want to look maybe towards the future before kind of diving into a couple other topics. Where what direction do you consider most exciting for bitsCrunch as you think about your product roadmap over the next, let's say, like year to 3 years? What will become most relevant or find the most demand, in your opinion, whether it's built or not yet built?
Mhm. One thing is definitely adding more chains. I mean, right now we are live across three chains: Ethereum, Polygon, and Avax, and then we are almost there with Binance chain. But then we are planning to index Solana, which is also one of the biggest NFT ecosystem. So having more chains can also let more users or more traders into the platform. And also, while mentioning about Mastercard, I need to also say that we will also target other payment gateways or other institutions like Visa, PayPal, Klarna, and Stripe, which are also interested in exploring Web3 space. And yeah, acquiring more and more NFT marketplaces, NFT lending protocols, just to bring the trust and transparency into the traders, and enabling them to make the right investment decision is what we aim to do in the next couple of years.
Love it. Yeah. So, what does bitsCrunch understand about the NFT space and digital assets more broadly in 2023 that others may not perceive or recognize as important?
Mm, the IP will become more and more prominent. I mean, we also had a lot of debate regarding the royalties in the past, and I'm sure that IP will also take center stage at some point, and that's where we as a team has an upper hand, as we have indexed uh, pretty much every single collection on Ethereum, Polygon, and Avax right from the Genesis block. By Genesis, I mean that we index data right from day one of uh, Ethereum, right from day one of Avax or Binance or Solana. So we, having got such an amount of data, we believe that our model will be reliable and trusted by like the likes of Mastercard, for instance, and our APIs are live on Chainlink ecosystem already. We are partners with Cointelegraph, so we will capitalize on this start and will work more closely with the brands, and also planning to take the chain analysis route with the NFTs, where we want to work with government bodies and institutions as well.
Love it. So, what second order effects are likely, again, say maybe 3 years from now, if bitsCrunch continues to deliver value? Like, what's changed in the world because people are enabled with bitsCrunch products and specifically that kind of security or transparency, clarity that's offered?
Mhm. I mean, if we continue to operate in the next 3 to 4 years, we also have plans to acquire a lot of other similar startups who work along the similar lines of NFTs, and we will enable more people to onboard into the NFT space, right? Because right now people are not really sure which marketplaces that they should be picking NFTs from, because there are plenty. And then even if they have figured out a marketplace, they are not sure which collections to invest. That level of knowledge is still missing. And then even in a collection there are plenty of NFTs out there, so we are there to help out people in order to make better investment decisions that can lead to a lot of web2 users onboarding into web3.
Super interesting. Yeah. So, kind of a side quest here, but I'm still curious. Where in our email correspondence, you'd mentioned you were actually attending the World Economic Forum, and I'm curious. Can you tell us a little bit about what the blockchain and crypto conversations were like there?
Yeah, I was there at the Davos. I was there at the World Economic Forum last week, and I had a great conversation with Yat Siu, the founder and chairman of Animoca Brands, which is one of the really good Web3 and NFT focused ventures out there. And then I met a couple of great founders like Sandbox founder. I met Sandy Carter from Unstoppable Domains. Uh, but to be honest, the crypto mood was a little down this year when you compare it to the last year. But yes, it was a well curated, closed door, invite only event. So I didn't get a chance to meet the broader crypto picture. So yeah.
Got it. Really interesting. So, what aspects of the work you're doing do you get most personally excited about or passionate about?
Building community, looking at way community responds to your project, and answering the community questions back and forth is something that is really exciting from time to time, because they keep coming with unimaginable questions at times, which as founders we need to be on toes all the time, and also giving back to the society, right? Because that is something that I always like to do in my free time. Because whenever I look at interesting projects, I try to help them out, and especially during these tough times, during these beer cycles, I guess a lot of founders need a lot of support and help, especially when it comes to fundraise, finding the product market fit, and that's also where I try to help them out.
Definitely. Okay, two last questions here, and this first one is a little bit related to something you just kind of touched on. But I'm curious your most, really like your most generalizable advice for founders building in the Web3 space.
All I would say is just keep your heads down and just focus on building, because now is the time to build. There is very less external noises that you can hear at this point in time. So just keep your heads down and just focus on building.
Yep. Okay, Vijay, what is your team working on right now, and what's the best way for people to follow along on your journey?
Hmm. So, like I said, unleashnfts.com is the B2C beta that we launched from bitsCrunch. And people can follow bitsCrunch across social handles like Twitter, LinkedIn, or Instagram. And if you wish to follow me, it's Vijay Pravin Maharajan on Twitter or LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a place where even 50,000 people follow me. So yeah, just glad to connect there.
Perfect. Vijay, thank you so much for the time. I hope everyone gets a chance to check out your website and Twitter, other places. And have a great rest of your week. Thanks for coming on the show.
You too, thanks. Have a nice day. Thanks.